Now let us see what is called as a statement pattern. A statement formed using given simple statements and one or more logical connectives such as and, or, negation, implication or double implication is called a statement pattern. So in other words, it's nothing but what we call as a compound statement, which has constituent simple statements and the logical connectives used. There is a note here that if a statement has m simple statements and n logical connectives, then m plus n columns would be required to prepare its truth table. So like this is a simple kind of rule that we can remember, because it will help us to plan while writing the truth table of the statement pattern. Right? Now let's solve one question based on preparing the truth table. So prepare a truth table for the statement pattern given as P and negation Q whole implies Q. Okay, so here as per the rule, if we observe how many simple statements are there. Okay, so we observe that there are only two labels, that is P and Q, right? And there are three connectives used if you observe, that is one conjunction, then negation and conditional or implication. So that means 2 plus 3 equal to 5. We would need 5 columns to prepare the truth table. Okay. So let us do that and complete the truth table. Since we are seeing two individual statements, we write them as P and Q. Now we have to slowly build the pattern. That is, first of all, let us build the negation Q as the third column. Then that has to be ANDed with P. So therefore the next column would be P and negation Q. And this entire thing is to be added to the implication. So therefore we have P and negation Q implies Q as the last column. So we correctly needed only 5 columns. So let us now go ahead. Now in the first 2 columns we have to write the possible values of the truth values of P and Q, and we have seen earlier that if we have 2 statements, then we will have 4 possibilities, that is TT, TF, FT and FF. Now while writing the negation Q, what we do is we simply negate the column of Q. So since it is TF, TF, the negation of that would be FT, FT. We negate everything. Okay. Then next is we have to do P and negation Q. That means the column of P and the column of negation Q is to be ANDed. So when you remember the truth table of AND, that is a conjunction, we know that in a conjunction it is false when either of the statements is false, and it is true only when both of the statements are true. Okay. So it means, look at the first one. We have T and F. As long as one is false, the answer is straight away false. Then we have T and T. So here, since both are true, the answer is true. Then we have false and false, clearly false. And lastly, false and true, that is still false. Now next is we have to do the implication of this column lastly obtained to Q, because now Q is the consequent. Okay. So now while doing the conditional, remember that the conditional is false only when it is T implies F type of possibility. Okay. So now if you consider the first one, now F implies T, okay, that gives us true. Then second is T implies F. Yes, here it is false because T implies F is false. Then false implies true, it is still true, and false implies false is also true in the implication. Okay. So this is what is the truth table of the given statement pattern, and the last column gives us the information about when the final statement pattern is true and when it is false. So we come to know that it is false only in the case when P is true and Q is false, and in all other cases it is true. Okay, so that is the meaning of preparing truth table for a given statement pattern.